So, the stage is set for an epic showdown between two iconic boxers, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. But this won't be your average boxing match. On one side, we have a 57-year-old living legend from the boxing world. And on the other, a highly competitive 27-year-old champion. Who has the fighting chance? You're on your toes already, right? We are too. These two fighters are going to face off on Saturday, July 20th, 2024 at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And guess what? The fight will be streamed on Netflix, so if you have a subscription, you can catch all the action right there. In this video, we will break down why this matchup is so intriguing. We will share the stats and look at what the experts are saying. Whether you're rooting for Tyson's experience or Paul's youthful energy, this video will give you all the insights you need to decide who has the fighting chance. Let's begin. So, who are these fighters? Jake Paul is a 27-year-old internet sensation who made his name on YouTube with wild pranks and crazy stunts. But in 2018, he swapped his camera for boxing gloves and hasn't looked back. With a record of 9 wins and just 1 loss, Paul has proven his boxing abilities. His recent first-round knockout of Ryan Borland shows he has got serious skills and isn't just messing around. On the other side, we have the legendary Mike Tyson. At 57, Tyson is a boxing icon who became the youngest heavyweight champion ever at 20. With 50 wins and 6 losses, Tyson's name is synonymous with boxing greatness. Even though he's older, recent training videos show that Iron Mike still has that lightning speed and knockout power that made him famous. It's old school versus new school, YouTube fame versus boxing history. Everyone is asking, can Jake Paul take down the mighty Mike Tyson, or will Tyson's experience and power be too much for the young upstart? We can't wait to find that out either. Let's discuss the stats and see what these fighters bring to the ring. First up, Jake Paul. He's 27 years old, stands tall at 6 feet 1 inch, and has a reach of 76 inches. His boxing record includes a solid 9 wins and 1 loss, with 6 of those wins coming by knockout. Not bad at all for a guy who started out making prank videos on YouTube. Jake has been proving himself in the ring lately. Remember his knockout victory over Ben Askren? That was a statement. His only professional loss came from Tommy Fury, but he bounced back by knocking out Ryan Borland in the first round recently. Now let's talk about the icon, Mike Tyson. He is 57 years old, a bit shorter at 5 feet 10 inches, and has a reach of 71 inches. His record includes an incredible 50 wins, 6 losses, and a jaw-dropping 44 knockouts. Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion ever at 20 and was a dominant force in the late 80s and early 90s. His knockouts of Trevor Berbick, Larry Holmes, and Michael Spinks are legendary. Even though his last professional fight was in 2005, Tyson showed that he's still got it in an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. But what are the odds? When this fight was first announced, the odds were heavily in favor of Jake Paul. He opened as the favorite with odds at -500, while Mike Tyson was the underdog at +325. These odds meant that if you bet $500 on Jake Paul, you would only win $100 if you won. On the other hand, a $100 bet on Tyson would net you $325 if he pulled off the upset. But things have changed. As the fight draws closer, the odds have shifted. Now, Jake Paul's odds have moved to -180, and Tyson's are at +130. This shift suggests bettors are giving Tyson more of a fighting chance. A $180 bet on Paul now wins you $100, while a $100 bet on Tyson would win you $130 if he wins. Several factors are influencing these odds. For example, Jake Paul's age and recent activity in the ring give him an edge. He is younger, fitter, and has been actively fighting and training. On the flip side, Tyson's experience and legendary status cannot be ignored. Despite being older, his past performance and recent training footage show he is still a formidable opponent. Let's not forget, this fight is a real professional bout without headgear. This means it is going to be as real as it gets, adding another layer of excitement and unpredictability. Tyson's knockout power is legendary, and without headgear, one punch could change everything. Paul's recent fights show he's no slouch either, and he will be looking to use his reach and youth to his advantage. How can we miss sharing the strengths and weaknesses of both players? Starting with Jake Paul's strengths. As mentioned earlier, Jake Paul has youth on his side. At 27, he is in peak physical condition, which gives him a significant advantage in terms of energy and recovery time. Standing at 6 feet 1 inch, Jake also has a height and reach advantage over Tyson, who is 5 feet 10 inches. This means Jake can keep Tyson at a distance and use his long arms to land punches more effectively. Recently, Jake has been very active in the ring, with a string of fights that have kept him sharp and well-trained. However, Jake does have some weaknesses. He doesn't have the same level of experience as Tyson, who has been fighting for decades. This lack of experience could be a disadvantage when facing someone as seasoned as Tyson. Also, Jake is under immense pressure to prove himself. As a YouTuber turned boxer, he has a lot of critics waiting to see him fail. This pressure and the high expectations could affect his performance in the ring. Now, let's move on to Mike Tyson's strengths and weaknesses. First, Tyson has extensive experience and an incredible ring IQ. With a career spanning decades, he has seen it all and knows how to handle almost any situation in the ring. His ability to read opponents and strategize on the fly is unmatched. Then, there's his historical knockout power. Tyson is known for his devastating punches that can end a fight in an instant. Even at 57, his recent training footage shows he still has that speed and power. Watching him hit the pads and train, it's clear that Tyson hasn't lost his touch. But Tyson isn't without weaknesses either. His age is a major factor. At 57, he is significantly older than Paul, which could impact his stamina and recovery time. Plus, he's had a long hiatus from professional fighting, with his last official bout in 2005. This long break could mean he's not as sharp as he used to be. Also, there are potential physical limitations due to his age. Even though he looks impressive in training, there is always a question of how his body will hold up in a real fight. Okay, let's talk about the potential outcomes and what this fight could mean for both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. First, imagine the best-case scenario for Jake Paul. A win against Mike Tyson would be huge for his career. Beating a legend like Tyson would shut down a lot of his critics and solidify his reputation as a serious boxer. This victory could open up even bigger fights and opportunities for him in the boxing world. For Mike Tyson, a win would be just as impactful. At 57, defeating a much younger opponent would be an incredible addition to his already legendary legacy. It would remind everyone of Tyson's power and skill, even after years away from professional fighting. Now, let's think about how the fight can actually play out. Jake Paul will likely try to use his height and reach advantage to keep Tyson at a distance with his jabs and looking for opportunities to land his powerful right hand. He will want to stay mobile, avoid Tyson's power shots, and use his youth and stamina to outlast Tyson over the rounds. On the other hand, Tyson will probably look to get inside Jake's reach and use his devastating hooks and uppercuts. He will aim to close the distance quickly and make it a close quarters battle where his experience and power can shine. Tyson might try to end the fight early with a knockout by using his historical knockout power. As the rounds progress, the dynamics will be interesting. If Jake can keep Tyson at bay and avoid getting caught by his big punches, he might wear Tyson down and take control in the later rounds. But if Tyson can land some heavy shots early on, it could be a very different story. Tyson's power is always a game changer, and one solid punch could shift the fight in his favor instantly. This fight is going to be a classic matchup of youth versus experience, strategy versus power. It's tough to predict exactly how it will go down, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be an electrifying event that no one is going to miss.